Hey everybody. Well, as you read that, and this is going to be a live one today, um, and I just at the beginning got monetized. I don't know why they did that. It's just a painting, and we're going to do a wet on wet canvas. And since I'm working with acrylics, we don't have to use any kind of chemicals on the canvas. We're just taking water, so we're doing a wet on wet. Now, I learned this technique when I took a college course. Now, you get your canvas wet. Just take your big, now if you have a canvas like this, you can use 1.5-inch brush, which I have. You can use a 2-inch brush. This one happens to be a 3-inch brush. You just take it on your canvas. Now, this is going to sound like Bob Ross, I know this. And now what I'm doing is I'm just taking it like this first, right? And then we just sweep across. Now I know you guys have seen me use the one thing to put my paints on. They just monetized me. But today, and I can this paint, but today, so we're going to put some white on here because we're going to put a little bit of the white, like Bob Ross would use his liquid white. So that would be the substitute for that liquid white because we have the wet canvas. We're going to put that down because then we're also going to put down the purple, and we're going to put down the black on top of that. And this is going to bring out all sorts of interesting color texture onto this canvas. Just pick that up with your brush like that. Just pick it up, stipple that in there. You know how to do this. You just really know how to do this technique. I can just take it onto the canvas like this. That's going to be a normal sound because we don't want this to come out all really gray from the brush. Just that up this. And yes, I am using the snare drum stand as my easel. Yes, I am. Dry your brush. Dry your brush. Just take an old rag, an old shirt. That's your way of drying your brush. Make sure that's nice and dry. Nice and dry. Don't want to work too much with it. Really a really wet brush that thins out your paint. You don't want your paint too wet. Oh, see, you guys are waiting for this, weren't you? You were waiting for that. Nope. You guys were waiting for that sound. Nope. I'm not doing that. No. No. Now, the other thing I'm not doing is running colors across the screen. Now, I want to go with nice dark purples. I'm trying to find my darkest purple now. I have different shades of purple. This one's a violet. That's too light. I really do have different shades of purples. I'll go through my purples and find my deepest one so that we have a really deep purple to work with. Oh, okay, I haven't opened that one yet. That one's also violet. I don't want to work with a violet tone because that's too light for us to work with, you know? You can't have too light of a tone of purple. What is wrong with these purples? Why is everything violet? I don't want violet. Why is it all violet? Violet again. Can Violet just like go home or something? Although that does look, it's a deepy, deepy purple, even though it says violet, right? The other ones aren't this color. I'll just go ahead and take that on there. Okay, that came out a really deep tone now. This is where I take my 1.5-inch brush. Yes. Am I gonna get this one wet? No, this is where I'm gonna take this one a little dry. Now, you've seen his instructional videos where he says you want to get it wet. This is where I'm gonna pick this up dry. Why? Because I want this one a little thicker. I actually want this one a little bit thicker than the other one because we actually want this one thicker. You see? Because if you have it, then it's not going to come in dark over that white. Over that white. Because that white is actually going to make it look lighter. You get my point there. The white, you see right there? As you go down with it, bring it across, the white makes it lighter. So as you go across there, you want to make sure that that is dark. Because as we go along with all the other stuff in this tutorial, with all the other colors that we're going to bring in this, with wet brushes, all the other underlay tones are actually going to, and this is an angle brush, so we can actually just take it in like this. And I don't care, I get my hand a little dirty, that's okay, I don't mind. I do not mind. And then take that brush across and smooth it out. Smooth it out across your canvas. Smooth it out across your canvas. I know you're going to get tired of hearing me say that. Like, what is she, the female reincarnation of Bob Ross? His son actually taught courses, and he would be on his show sometime. Just take it lightly across the canvas. See how purple that is? Lightly across that canvas. And then we're going to wash this. Wash the brush. If you missed a few spots, just take it in like this. And then blend it. Just blend it. Blend it, blend it. Any little spots that you may have missed, just take it to the edge and blend it. Like that. And there you go, you have that purple underlay. Okay, I missed a little spot. Okay, and then it's done for the purple underlay. We're going to wash this brush. Okay, see, I don't care, I got that paint right on my hand. That's easy to come off. Just take your damp rag, and it comes off. I get the paints that are non-toxic, which is great if you have animals in your house. I don't, unless of course you consider old men animals. They're military veterans, but unless you consider them to be animals, you want to keep non-toxic paints in your house. Got to be a little bit, jumping around here and there. But now I actually had a thicker paint rag than this, and I don't know whatever happened to it. But you gotta try to get your bristles as clean as possible. Now, purples and blacks will actually stain your brushes if you don't clean them properly. And I will show you how this purple is trying to stain this brush. But I will end up picking up the black on this. I will, which will actually cover this purple. which means I'll end up having to take it to the sink eventually towards the end of the video and literally have to wash the brush a certain way. Now, this is a synthetic, which means I can just wash it out with soap and water and it's not really going to hurt it. Now, if you have more of a hair brush, you know, like real hair in your brush, then that, you know, that's a little different. You want to treat that brush different. And, you know, even though sometimes I've used soap and water, and, you know, you'll hear in other videos where they say, oh, don't wash those in soap and water. I've done it. It's never damaged my brushes. And still, I take this to see some of the purple stained the ends, and it also stained the rag, but I don't really care about the rag, right? You're not gonna really care about the rag. So I'm going to use, you know, I have different tubes of black. This is the cheap stuff from Five Below from Walmart. And then there is the one that I showed you guys the other day. And this is what I'm going to use, is the more expensive stuff, because, you know, I want to. There's actually a lot in this bottle. You don't really need too much. And now for this point, I'm just going to dab the end, just lightly dab the end of the bristles, dry it on your brush just a bit. And then take it in to the black paint. You know, that's not going to run because that is a very thick paint. And that's why I have this. Take it right here, pick it up, pick up a little, take it up right here. This. This is the 8x10 canvas. They're seriously monetizing me today. Sorry about that. Not my fault. Going. See how the black is going on there? Which means we'll put a little bit more of the black, a little bit, it'll be going like this, black, the purple in that direction, in the sweeping direction, this way as well, in a thicker motion. Now you see, I didn't clean the brush, I went right back into it. We're just going to pick it up like that, sweep it up on the side of your palette, and then we're just going to take it in the direction on the canvas like this. I wish you guys could see this better. They just tried to monetize me again. Stop it. Thank you. Geez, you can't even teach art anymore. So, if I make a motion like this, it's just they're doing it again. I noticed that one of my videos yesterday was like super glitchy. So I'll show you this now that I'm getting towards the bottom of it. You see how much that has changed. You see the purple down here, and you just take that brush across. Just take it across like this. You're just sweeping that motion. Just take it across. Blend it. Just blend it. Blend it across. And you see how that part didn't fully go, right? fully. Now if I take it up like that, the color is going to completely change. If I take it back here, it's the color that it really is. You see that almost looks like a little dead tree right there, right? That's almost an effect there. But we're going to take a little more of the black. We're going to go right across that, just right across it, because we have that purplish black effect now on the canvas. And if I had enough memory on my phone, I would have just done this video a different way, but I don't at the moment. The serious monetization of my video is ridiculous. So what we're going to do is I'm going to like clean my hand, clean the brush. And then what we're going to get into is the background of the painting. And I will show you guys how to do that. First, what we're going to do is, yes, some wispy clouds. Some wispy clouds. How about that? Yes, there are a few things that I did learn from watching his videos growing up. I used to actually, when I was a kid, I went to a yard sale. I bought a TV for like really cheap in a yard sale from some money that I had earned. And I put it in my bedroom. I used to watch that old guy from this TV, you know, like back then you didn't have to have cable plugged into your TV to watch PBS. I know, right? Like, what? Huh? Actually, back then, you know, you didn't have to have cable plugged into your TV, literally, to watch PBS. And, not a sponsor of my channel, but still, neither is my shirt, by the way. Maybe they're monetizing you for that. That's the gym I used to go to. But, you know, hey, I still have the shirt, whoop-de-doo. It's comfortable. And I restyled it. But, you know, I used to watch him on there, and, you know, I always enjoyed watching him paint, you know, the joy of painting. Nothing wrong with painting. You're a kid, you want to watch something interesting. You're watching this old Air Force veteran do some paintings. Yes. Cool old dude doing some paintings to pass his time and instruct people just to be, you know, happy. Just to be happy, right? So, how are we going to be all wispy today? Well, first of all, we're going to take this brush. Yes, this brush. What I say about so I used to watch, okay, so I used to watch his Joy of Painting. That brush is still hard, it shouldn't be hard. I'm going to have to try to clean it again. It shouldn't be hard, I just cleaned this brush really good. Enough with the monetizing. Anyway, enough with their monetizing. I cleaned this brush really good the other day, and you guys know that from when I was doing Creepy Baby Doll. So, I'm going to clean it again like that is weird. That's just weird. So, yeah. So, now that it's a lot looser, you gotta make sure that your bristles on your brush, you see that? You gotta make sure that the bristles on your brush is not stiff as a board. You don't want to brush very loose and clean brush. You always want a very clean brush, always. Nice. Load up your brush. I'm going to continue this. No matter what they do, I'm going to continue this video. If the sheets, please let me know if I ended up glitchy, and we'll try another one for another painting. End up getting to see all of this one because of their monetization of my channel. Then the end result I will absolutely let you guys see, because this is just getting ridiculous, beyond freaking ridiculous. Okay, so I loaded up my brush on both sides. And what we're going to do is make the wispy little clouds. Now all you really want to do is just make a few little X's here and there. Okay, you're just going to really just bring that in, and then you can stipple to make your little clouds. Okay, you just want to, like, wherever you are, and I'm not going to copy him completely, you have your little clouds. Now I use the thinner paint for this, and I'm going to bring in a thicker paint in a moment. So I'm going to clean the brush. They're not my videos. I'm going to hold that one and brand new tube of paint. Fluff your clouds. Fluff your clouds. Fluff your clouds. And look. Just look. I know our little moon just faded away, but just lift. This is your dry brush. Some of that. Just stipple. So we're going to bring in that other white. Okay. So we don't really want black paint on that. This is our clean brush. You see a lot of that came off. A lot of that came off. And that's how we want that to be. This is our dry brush. Now I'm going to have to bang this across here because I really want to get the paint off. That really was his technique, and I can see why. You want to dry that brush. It actually works. He was a great art instructor. Should be honored. White slip on the paint plate. You don't. right now. We are going to take this brush again. Okay, still a little damp, get a little wet, right off of it, right into that thick paint just ran past. Load your brush because we are making these clouds, these happy clouds right up. We're going to make some happy clouds, maybe some. See that? That doesn't take much to make clouds. Look at that effect. Isn't that cool? And you can add all sorts of texture to this. Now I'm going to go back in. Yes, and I did not clean the brush, making sure they're not cutting my feet off while I'm doing this. And just go back in. As you notice, I did not clean. There's a little bit in there. Just go back in. Back in. Just go back in. Need to be. Let's go back in. Just go back in. This paint's still wet. Just go back in. If you need to pick up a little extra paint, do that. Let's go back in. Right up there in that corner. Right up there in that corner. A little bit at the top. Now you see that right there? You see that? That is clouds. That's clouds. Now that we made the, like I said, down at the bottom is where we're going to have the skulls and the pumpkins and this little cloudy effect for the background. That's a little something that we want. It's a little something that just goes with what we're making. Now I'm going to clean the brush. Clean that brush off. You have to get another rag or use a bigger rag, a thicker rag. Go ahead and do that. You see how that came out nice and clean? You see that? That came out nice and clean. And if you have to take it across to dry your brush, do so. It's going to make a different sound, but it's a dry brush. It's an actual technique to use, people. Now take just a little bit more white on there because I want to make another texture into this, just another layered texture. And I'm going to show you that because I want to bring out a little bit of puffiness into some of these clouds. That's something I watched last. To refresh your mind for when you want to do cloud. It's a little cheese. Clean that brush. And again, dry your brush off. Dry your brush off. Brush. We're just going to take the end of it. You know, you heard that before. And we're just going to We're just gonna fluff it. We're just gonna fluff it. Okay, so fluff your cloud. Just fluff it. In a little circular motion. In a little circular motion. Just make little circles. Some people make X's. I'll make a circle. Then I fluff upwards. Wonder where I got that technique, right? You know. We are talking about that. Take the brush across and across. Smooth it. And there's your clouds. That's going to give it back. And it got some of that black, even though because I want to get that purple off as much as possible. You know, I do like the purple tone in it. You know, you don't want to have too much of it in there. So dark purple, as I told you guys, because my and I'm gonna dry the brush. One dry brush. We need to take into our palette. Stop monetizing me. Thank you for stop monetizing. Come out, come out. You're going to orange. And you know, underlaying tones for the pumpkin. Just stupidly today. And I want to add a green. I'm actually going to have two different tones of green. I'm just going to make fun of white to my palette. And the red so that I can instant the thinner white that is, which we can actually call kind of a magic white or a liquid white. And guess what they accidentally is the liquid white that the dark purple, which is claiming to be violet, but we all know violet is a light color, and we all know our people, except for maybe me. He like this light bulb out in the garage, right? He said that this light bulb went out. That's what last year? No, not last year. Last month. And it went out for him. Like he's just sitting there, all of a sudden, poof, the light goes out. So he switches the switch off. I go out there the next day. I flip the switch, magically the light works. And it's been working ever since. So yesterday, he goes upstairs to use the gas stove. You know, hi, I'm Charlene, and this is my kitchen, the kitchen that I use upstairs. And so it goes to turn on one of the back burners. And so I'm cleaning the kitchen because I have to wipe it down, even if I'm just in the kitchen. That's just the person I am. If I'm breathing in the kitchen, I have to wipe the whole kitchen down. It's like the back burner on the left isn't working, and I'm already cleaning the stove anyway. And I'm like, well, I touched the stove. Why don't you try it? Click, click, poof, turns on, and he's like, stop that. You're fixing things. It's like, that's crazy. So magically, if I touch things, they work. Is it magic or is it shamanism? Or maybe shamanism is just earthly magic. Who knows? Anyway, back to the painting. So what we're going to do, we're not going to use this brush right away, but we will get back to this brush. I promise you that. We will, in fact, get back to using this brush because, you know, I might want a little white in there because we will want some undertones for certain things. Oh, yes, I almost forgot something, and then I almost got my medicine bag in there because I do actually want a slight fleshy tone underneath the skull. Don't monetize that. Now you're just getting ridiculous. Which I'll put off in the little corner because this is liquidy. So I'll put it off in a little corner away from the other colors because I really don't want it to touch the other colors. So I put it off in the far corner where the liquid white would be. So now we're going to pick up out of my tin full of brushes another brush so that we can start on the other stuff. Now I have other brushes that I can use, angle brushes, and what the heck's in here? Let's dump in some. Oh, they're purpley flowers, which I don't need right now. But I do have all sorts of brushes, very soft brushes, very fine brushes. Make sure you have an array of brushes that you can use for different techniques and different effects in your work. Like I said, I have different size angle brushes, very good to use for different effects, and very, very fine line brushes, very good to use for your paintings. I have some smaller than that, very, very small, very, very small. And like I said, you know, different sizes, different effects, easy to work with. And this is what I'm going to show you what I mean by taking your brush, get a little wet. And the other thing is, I could have taken this and put like a big old something there and a big old something there. No, I don't want to do that with this because we're wanting to get into certain things in this, and I really don't want like too much of certain effects into this because this is basically skulls and pumpkins, and that flesh tone is to go underneath the skulls where I want them. And what I'm going to do is take that liquid white and that flesh tone and kind of blend them together. Blend them together, and I hope, there, see right there? I'm blending them together. I'm going to wash the brush in a moment before I go back into that. But you see that where I'm blending that together? See that? That's those two tones blended together. It's the liquid white. Oops, not mean to move my camera. Let me readjust that. That is the liquid white and the flesh tone blended together. I feel like I'm doing a makeup tutorial, and I'm not. So, so we'll dry that brush just on the right. Just on the right. You don't have to splatter it around on anything. Not this particular brush. Just go back in, pick up that color, because that's your baseline undertone before we go into that thicker white. Like I said, right there, picking that up before we go in. And now, like Mr. Ross would say, this is your bravery test. Where do you want that skull? Where do you want that first skull? Where do you see your first skull laying at before you added pumpkin? Where do I see my first skull? You know what? I think I see a face of a skull right about here. About here. Land in a certain direction. And I'll show you that right there. Laying in a certain direction. You guys will see that in a moment. Laying in a certain direction. In fact, you can also use this tone for the pumpkins, for the underlay of the pumpkins. Now, not all pumpkins, like I said, are orange. Now, naturally, pumpkins are that color. That's the natural color of a pumpkin. Now, could I actually make this into a pumpkin instead? I could, which I think I just accidentally did. So, but I can also change the shape of that. And melt the front of the mouth and shape it out. And we have a skull, people. We have a skull. Skulls are not perfectly shaped. Everybody has a different shaped cranium. This is true. We all know this. It's human anatomy. Human Anatomy 101. Everybody does not have the same shaped cranium. And as you can see right there, I don't know if you can, a little bit of that purple is trying to come through, which is another shade effect underneath it. So you can actually scrub a little bit of that through. And I will show you this. And voila, you have that purple. That's a little shade effect that you can take and cover that back up. But you will be covering this with the thicker white, which means you will be able to cover that. Now I'm going to clean that brush, because every time you do that, and if you do get the purple, you don't want that with everything. And you can change up your brush sizes if you feel the need to. And just choose a point, and I am going to go into that thick white, even though I washed the brush. Yes, I am going to go into that thick white. Now, I'm only going to really load it like right there and towards the tip. And did I really want that like that, like that? I'm actually going to let that dry for a moment. They're about to try to monetize me again. Moment. Are they serious? Okay, so I think maybe that just dried paint. We're just gonna go over that little skull now that the paint dried. You may end up having to do this painting in 2 parts since they keep monetizing me. Which will be fine if they keep doing that. Just like we had to do with, you know, the creepy dollar. That's perfectly fine. If they want to do that, we can always do this in 2 parts. And I just picked up the white because I want to do a pumpkin and this is my underlay. And I'm going to take the pumpkin behind the skull, you know, kind of assortedly distance behind the skull a little bit. And I wanted to make that paint a little bit thick, little bit thick, so the texture is a little different. Now, pumpkins aren't always round, and they're not always perfect. No, they are not. Pumpkins are not always round, and they are not always perfect. Kind of like people. People come in different skin tones, different shapes, different heights. But you know what? We're all people. Aren't we? We're all people just the same. Just the same. We are all one human species on a blue planet. Just the same. Now I did clean the brush and because I'm making a smaller pumpkin, like farther in the distance. You guys might think, oh, well, why didn't you just make a field in the back? Well, because it's a little bit darker painting. I don't necessarily want a field in the back. Now I just went back into the undertone without cleaning the brush because I'm picking up more of that liquid white with the flush tone to make another skull. And I can always switch up to make a smaller skull with a smaller brush. And we're gonna make like maybe the king skull that will have kind of like a pumpkin head part in the back of him. If you catch my drift with that, right? I'll show you this in a moment. Okay, now I'm going to show you this. You know what would be better? If I put my paintbrush down for a minute, let me clean that and then put it down. Yay, right? Yay, I cleaned my brush. Now let me show you the painting, because that helps. Yeah, let me show you that. Okay, so I put one of the skulls here, pumpkin, pumpkin, the main skull. Get to see how that's working out now. Got the clouds, the wispy clouds. You got all this background right here to work with. Something. And I have a little area right here to do something with as well. Now back here, maybe somewhere. Our scarecrow to protect the pumpkin patch. Sweet. maybe a few crows, and a little bit of the cornfield that it belongs in. Exactly, a little bit of the cornfield that it belongs in. Now, like I said, you know, this is a smaller painting, as you can see, smaller, but let's compare it to this, much smaller than that, right? Much smaller in comparison. And like I said, it's only an 8 by 10. He's a 16 by 20. When you think of 8 by 10, you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to be such a nice size, until you really see it compared to a 16 by 20, and you're like, ooh, that's so much smaller. But the details that you can really get into something like this is just so fascinating. It's like, really, when you put it to your mind, how much detail can you really put into something like that? A lot if you put your mind to it. Just a lot. You just have to put your mind to something like this. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Don't ever let anybody tell you. You know, what I'm doing right now is I'm mixing a little bit of that liquid white with the thick white. Get a little smooth. So I'm going to make another pumpkin in the back. We're going to make like a small pumpkin patch with the big pumpkins and the small pumpkins, because, you know, we got to put them together. They're all in one tribe, one clan. Right? Right. And as we put these with the skulls, some of them are going with those, and it's going to be a really interestingly fun painting. And it's, you know, like, if you're into like certain art, you know, something that you can do, and you can say, hey, look what I did. It's an interesting piece. Don't let people say, ooh, gross, that's disgusting. No, absolutely not. I have done paintings that are so a hair close to human anatomy, right? That is just that fascinating. Seriously, that close to true human anatomy. That it just fascinated the crap out of people. That I could do artwork like that. And the fact that I could replicate Da Vinci's man, right? Like, it's hard to duplicate Da Vinci's man, but he was one of my art heroes, Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. Oh my God, absolutely. Absolutely. Because art is worth the study, definitely. And pumpkin. And again, I will show this to you guys. Look like skull and pumpkin might be merging together here soon. And we'll be doing that in the background with some smaller brushes here in a moment. But I'll give you a peek of that. See how that's developing? See how that's developing? That is just going to be awesome. Clean that brush, and we're going to switch up brushes to a smaller brush here in a moment. I gotta dry this one. Dry this brush. I'll end up having to wipe down my stand. See it? Dry. Very dry. Thank you, Mr. Ross, for teaching the world that technique. And this will be the one. Now, you guys have seen me use this brush before. My one that I love to use look at the very tip of that brush. Even though it curves, the very tip of this brush is so useful. So very useful. Now, I know there's also makeup brushes that are very, very tipped. I'll also eventually teach you guys how you can use old makeup for artwork. Yes, if you have old makeup, if you're a woman and you have old makeup, or let's say even if you're a cross-dresser, I don't discriminate here. Even if you're a cross-dresser and you have makeup and it's old, you can use it for artwork. And I will teach you this. I will teach you this. I don't discriminate on my channel. I'm being serious. Doesn't matter who you are. Any walk of life. Man, woman, whoever you are. Doesn't matter here. Doesn't matter who you are. Any walk of life is welcome here. So, as this dries, we are scarecrow. Now, how are we going to do this? Of course, well, a brown. I know, I'm just being silly today. I want to keep some humor in this channel. Humor is the best therapy for everybody. It really is. Now, since the background of this is completely dry, the purple black is perfectly dry, so are the clouds. They're perfectly dry. See, I just ran my hand over that. That's perfectly dry. Except for the skulls. You see that? I put my hand on the skull. So like my fingerprint is on the skull. Okay. Scully. Oh, I always loved watching X-Files. I wish that was back on. Oh, I love that show. And true crime. X-Files, true crime. Let's see. Anything that was like unexplained or paranormal. I wish they bring Ghost Hunters back. I missed my Ghost Hunters Wednesday. And to Jason Oz. Anyway, I really did. I missed that. I gave. Let's use this to but I'm not going to do that because I have this. Why? Because you need to. Stand on. Well, like study, and right into. I put him in the middle, but I want to. Or should we put him just off? I keep feeling like I want to put him off-centered creepiness, not too much in the center. My friend has to answer the phone because I'm too busy. I hate when my house phone rings and I'm doing a video. Anyway, as you can see, like right there, I don't know. Oh yeah, you can see that. Okay. I did put the one line, even though it's a little crooked, it's meant to be. Crooked. Crickety. Then we're going to take the other one, and it's not going to be perfectly straight because that's not how I want it to be. Scarecrows are supposed to hang weird. You ever notice that? Scarecrows hang weird? I don't know why. I mean, I know they're supposed to be scary. Why they're supposed to be scary, I don't know. That's somebody else's invention, not mine. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of that brown with the tan tone, a little more of the brown, a little white. You know who that sounds like again? Just mix that in your palette until you get that color. Right, until you get that color. It's right there. And then what we're gonna do, if I can see this and show it to you at the same time, so we're just gonna touch and enhance. Just enhance that just a little bit, just a little bit. Just a wee bit. You don't need much. It's a little bit of enhancement on the wood grain. Our guy's going to hang weird because his perch isn't all perfect. His perch isn't all perfect. Those things aren't perfect anyway. And then what we're going to do, because scarecrows are supposed to be creepy anyway. So we're going to go into that black. We're going to go into that black and some of that liquid white. Make us a nice weird gray tone. You know how I said that liquid white went right next to the black? And then we're going to take a little bit of that thicker white, mix that in with it. Mix that in with it. And there's that gray tone I'm looking for right there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that gray tone. I don't know if it even focused on it, but I have this gray tone on here that I'm going to use for a hat. Because he's kind of shadowy. It's kind of shadowy. So it's going to actually undertone some of that that brown. It's going to kind of undertone some of that brown into his jacket. His jacket's a little bit torn, you know. And where you are in your mind, your scarecrows, however you want him to look, he or she. Your scarecrow can be a girl. However you want your scarecrow to look. That's up to you. That's up to you. Yeah, now I'm starting to sound like him, but that's up to you. You see the scarecrow? You see the scarecrow now? Yeah, right? Kind of cool. Kind of cool. You're like, but where's its face? We're going to get into the face part of the scarecrow in a minute. And you see why I used that brush, right? You see why I used that brush. We're going to go back into that fleshy tone. Now, I actually have most of that flesh tone just in the corner. And you're wondering about, well, what am I going to do with the face of the scarecrow? That's why I have that left. Well, because that's a burlap sack. Am I right? Yes, most farmers do use a burlap sack for a scarecrow face or a body. on a scarecrow. That's mostly what they're made out of, is burlap. So highlight a little bit of that in there. And then we got to think about, well, what's this guy's pants look like? Because he has to be wearing some pants. He has to be decent on this thing. We would go back into the gray, but I'm going to take some black in there for his pants. Just a little bit of the black on the end of the brush like that. And I'll show you guys in a minute, because his legs might not necessarily be looking all that great. This scarecrow's been there for a while. This scarecrow's been there for a while. This guy's been there for a while. Maybe face, right? So I took a little, maybe a little grungy. He's the guardian of these guys. Looks a little grungy. He's supposed to. And then you can still see that brown where his post is right at the hand. The light part between his pant legs. And then you can just kind of drag down the color a little bit. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Wherever you are, you just make him how you want. And I'm letting the paint dry for the pumpkin before I go into anything else, because we can work on the cornfield part. Because you want to make a cornfield in the back of this too, just kind of like some sort of dead corn maze. How do you want your dead corn maze to look? Do you want it green? You want it yellow with like little specks of green in it? Like that time of the year, most cornfields are either yellow or they're green. But then you also have to think about, would you rather that or a pumpkin field? Which would you rather have it? Now, we could also do that kind of field, and he's the guardian of the pumpkin patch, which is another thing to think about. He could be the guardian of the pumpkin patch, which is, because we have the pumpkins, but, way back in the North 40 or the South 40, you have a slight little field of corn back there, while the rest of it's your big old pumpkin patch. A lot of farmers do that. They really do. And it's going to take a while to process this, but you know what? I don't really mind. Like I said, your part of the day, your painting will be how it wants to be, and you have your clouds that way, and what we're gonna do is first of all, I'm changing brushes up again, and you know why? You know why? Our middle skull, the big skull, I say skull, but I'm on the text, that is completely dry. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that white on the end, right on the end of the brush. No, I did not wet that brush. And you see which brush I took, right? I'm going to go over the biggest skull with the white now. The way when I go back in to make it like it's merged with, I swear to God, I saw somebody at the window. I didn't like that. Anyway, so when I go to do this with the orange for the one part of the head to make it look like it's merged with the pumpkin, then you guys will get the idea for that. So, brush. A little water for, well, that's washable because the floor is cement anyway. I'll probably put carpet on here. Not little carpets, but that's not a lot. But if it was all carpeted, that would be different. Dry my brush. So when again, dry brush. Put back in. Good dry brush. Good dry brush. And you see how that fluffs it? That fluffs the brush back up. You really want to get a dry fluffed brush. And like I said, we're going to use some purples in this because I can just, I'm not purples, the red tone purples. Got purple rain today. You know, not purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple. Like I said, you know, it doesn't hurt to put a little humor into videos. And I'm mixing some red and orange together on the palette. Try not to get that near that liquid white too much. Liquid white really wants around this. And picking up a little bit of the yellow in there. Got a little more of the orange. And I will show that to you. See that color right there? There we go. See that color right there? That is the color I am looking for one of the pumpkins. See, and I will show you right here. We're just going to take this and down. Turn your brush and down. See what I did? That motion, just take it and down, take it and down. And as you see, I did that in a circular motion, and that leaves an effect on the pumpkin. And you can just take it like this. Now, if it touches the middle skull, it's not really going to matter because we are actually going to take an orange tone into that anyway, into that skull. Like I said, that's not really going to matter in the first place. So, as you can see, now we've got that effect in pumpkin number 1. So, yeah. So this is actually not really going to take too much of an effort. You can add different tones into this. You can take, because just what paint is on this brush, I'm going to show you. What paint is on this brush just painted. And this is without getting the paintbrush wet. And it doesn't really matter the tone of pumpkins. Wet pumpkins originally are not orange. Did you know? Everybody, 3 pumpkins. Fun. Stop monetizing me. They actually wanted to take monetizing me for mentioning Sesame Street. Shoot, I watched that when I was a little kid, right? Had a, and she said it creeped her out. And I found out why, because I had reset it was her. I said, because for cut the cord on it. I feel great. That crap was possessed. Possessed Ernie doll went in the trash. And then I felt sorry for the albino white kid that went to take his parents, the trash out from his apartment at the apartment complex. You never seen a little albino kid run so fast because the Ernie doll sat up in the trash bag and turned its head, and its head's not supposed to turn. Like there was no tomorrow. And it's reported that to the office, right? Went over to the trash bin and was searching for it to damn the evil. They're like, where is this evil that's in the trash? And I'm like, oh, you mean I threw away because I didn't want it in my house? I didn't like those people anyway because they were weird. Beware of buying certain dolls. Sorry, bunny dolls to me are creepy. So, that is my creepy doll story. Other than I'm not a doll person. When you have a doll that sits up and it has no batteries in it and it continues to talk and you cut the cords on it and it continues to talk, nah. That's when the dolly goes bye-bye. Especially when it creeps out your kid. And she kept saying that Ernie was sliding the closet open. Okay, after he kept saying, I feel great with no batteries in it. Yeah, sure. Okay, I believe you. Hey, maybe that was just my creepy story time right there, right? I shared a personal story with you. I have some other ones though. But those are for somebody else. Somebody else to read. So I'm adding a little bit of the yellow and the orange in different layers of texture. And as you heard, I got to neat some water on the brush before I layered it in because I'm trying to get the little lines for the pumpkin to lay in now before I actually go in on the main skull, because I have that one pumpkin next to it and it's like one part of it, it's like doing it. I don't know what the thing it's doing is what to do as soon as the paint dries. Up on it again. or as a pumpkin skull. I'm going to fade down the orange color. You see that right there? I faded down the orange to make that look different in texture. You see that? Faded the texture down so that when I go to actually shape that out as the skull, the texturing of that is going to be different. And I'm also going to clean line that out with the black when I go back in to do that, so that you guys will be able to see that a lot better. And I will show you that part right now with the same brush. Of course, I cleaned it. But, the orange and red tones will also try to stain your brushes. So always remember that. So now you can go back in and you can try to clean line how you want to shape your skull. How do you want your skull to be shaped? And you can always cover certain things. Go back in, shape out a cheekbone, shape out your cheekbone. Shape it out. Just go in there and shape that. And of course, since that orange is still on there, so that orange blended down. Like I said, we're also going to make that little pumpkin patch look around this area. And then we can always take some of the black and the purple back in there, since I still have some of the purple right here. It's easy to cover that and just blend it back, blend it back, blend it back. And then just blend it. It doesn't even matter if you use that little brush. Just gonna blend it. There's no mistake. The accents. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into that big wash that brush. Gonna actually pick up just a little white, just a little white, just a little bit of that white. You see a little bit right there, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna take that into that main pumpkin skull, the pumpkin skull right here, and we're just gonna take that and we're gonna make like general pumpkin lines right down. Take it and go right down. You don't have to try to do this perfect. It's your pumpkin. Do it however you want. It is your pumpkin skull. Do it however you want. I've been an artist for many years. That's why I'm glad to be able to bring my artwork to you via YouTube. You just need to stop monetizing me. Yeah, I'm going to rinse my brush again because that's getting really thick on my brush. Just getting really thick. Get my elbow. You know what? I knocked my elbow on the arm of my chair and it didn't stop me. Didn't stop me. I'm just going to be a little silly today. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. nice and vibrant. Be a little silly sometimes in your day. Find it makes your day a little happier. The layered paint underneath dry in your day. It's all up to you and your painting. Color. What I want, extra deep color, they just monetize. I'm gonna go take that little extra deep roll and orange. You guys are kidding, right? Okay, until it fades. And they did it again. Just pull that color until it fades. They're doing it when I'm not looking, guys. And just kind of let it fade down like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'll show you what I'm doing with mine. Just kind of pull it until it fades. It's itchy. Okay, I'm gonna roll it, and you see me pulling it up. Then you see me pulling it up, side of the palette, which means core. Again. My excuse. Or since they keep monetizing me, maybe I should. And so does the black. The black and the orange kind of stings the brush. So like your brush in up on the side of your palette, you just take it right there after you brush in there. And then just go like this. And up. Eyeliner. If you're doing your eye, just you just work that a little bit of soft. Oh, shit. I don't know why. FX. If you just, let me know in the comments if you didn't get to watch this whole video. It's ridiculous. Okay. want to make it look, since this the mouth area out, the chin area out, that way you have a sculpted look to that. Let me wash my brush. Be washed. Yes, it does. And then I'm going to finish that skull up and then I'll show it to you, because every time I look down or away for a moment, they keep doing the same thing. Oh my god, my nose twitches like mad crazy. Where's my hand sanding? My hand sanding's over there. Let me read. No, it's not. I always keep hand sanitizer around. I don't know what's in the area. Experiment. It'll help you breathe. Even for breathing, it won't hurt your asthma. I had asthma when I weighed over 250 pounds. I wore pants that big. And now, right? I used to be that big. And also trying to be people. Yes. So I try to be your pussy. What I show when I did the shadow in, look at his face. He actually has a face. Look at that. Isn't that cool? They're gonna monetize me for that. Every time I say monetize that, they monetize me. Gonna monetize me for that? Look at his face, people. Look at that. He actually has a face. Isn't that cool? You can give me a thumbs up for him. I didn't even realize that until now. It's like I'm taking a sip of coffee. And then I realized, damn, I actually did give him a face. That's kind of cool. In a creepy sense. Creepy cool. Creepy creepies. Creepus. Creepus cool. Kind of like creepy baked doll art. Snoopy Peach coming to their channel. No, I'm not saying I do yet. I appreciate that. I'm excited. I'm excited. You definitely have my permission. You have my permission. Even for my live stream. You must feature this. Yes. The teeth to it. I'm So I am getting some of the skull features into this. Yes. So, yeah, it is longer. And there's a lot more that goes into doing a painting like this. Then you have certain things to put in for like feature detail things that will appreciate taking. And since they keep seriously monetizing me for trying to get this done, they're irritating the crap out of me for this. They're seriously irritating the crap out of me. So I'm trying to get the shadow piece done for the nose for this one over here. And then I'm going to try to get the skull features in that and try to do and add in line features for the without doing the field part. But we don't necessarily the painting. That is the point to this painting. So, that is absolutely the point to this painting. Just have to just like slap this thing together. Stipple it in every once in a while when I look down the side. Then I will do a fine line for the cheekbone. And then start going to that other skull. Okay, look. I got 3 of the skulls going. Back one here, the main one, and this one. Okay? And then there's this one to get the details started in. Now, as you notice, I didn't start the teeth in them yet. That's a main factor. Now, the main one in the middle, you hold your hand like this, wrist, or hand to wrist, right? Hold your hand like this. It's like doing a calligraphy style, which would be putting your hand like this. Now, if you were doing the Asian calligraphy and you had on your kimono, which is not the kimono dragon, but if you had on your kimono, you would be holding the sleeve portion or holding your hand like this, and your brush would be perfect like this for the calligraphy, so that but I go like this or like this. He is talking, and so is the hummus that I ate. But this is how the very point of that can find for the tooth details on the skulls. Very easy to that on your leg. Let's say you're doing this when you're in a wheelchair, or you're needing to from, missing part of my lower spine. Hell on my back. So we're just going to take that, lean forward, line down. Okay, that pain. Drop that. Roll the brush until it's like that again. Make sure your brush is fine tipped. Roll it up. Roll it up. Now the only place it's really gonna stay wet is in your palette. Sometimes you really have to be quick about it. Take it like this. And okay, now I know I went right? Okay, that's because you have to concentrate sometimes when you're doing. Rinse that brush again. A shadow that I just put in, and make some detail around. And then I'm going to show it to you on the main skull for some detail. Because I put a little extra back into it. You guys are going to like this. No, I do. Sometimes you can get it to give. Sometimes you can get it to give you. Never give up on it. The other skull that I have in the corner by the other two pumpkins, I'm actually going to use the faded orange that's on there after washing the brush. I'm just going to pull that into it. I may not actually put the teeth into that one, which is fine. I'm going to show you the faded orange tone. Oh my gosh, I can't believe my allergies are acting up like this today. See that? The faded orange tone? It's so faded, but it's cool. And I haven't horrific today. I don't have any makeup on. I really don't. But like my allergies are like allergies are it's like the allergy monster. You know what I mean? Like an allergy monster is attacking. So read something. I'm happy myself to my viewers. That's ridiculous. going to be okay, now I'm adding like a little extra line detail. Remember the one I said because coming through, and I didn't really want that to happen on it. Well, now it's dry enough. It was absolutely dry enough where I can add extra details into it. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm picking up different orange tone, picking up that yellow tone to go into it, but I'm not cleaning the brush to take that yellow tone in. Just picking up that yellow tone, taking it in there, giving it that light tone with the orange at the same time. I'll just also take that into the smaller pumpkin that's right there. Extra detail to it. Now, of course, like I said, it's going to stain a little bit at the tip of the brush. That's really no big deal because I can just take some hot soapy water to that later. No biggest, no bigs, no big deal, no big deal. And just take some black paint over to the other skull that we haven't even touched yet, right? We haven't even touched that guy yet. So now I'm balancing my hand like this, for a certain reason. Because I really need to be able to balance the palm of my hand and my wrist at the very same time. And I will show you guys in a moment why. Definitely show you in a moment why, because I have to add a little extra black paint, into that. Because I'm actually working on the nose, jawbone area of this particular skull. I will show you that. This is like, you also have to work like and you're going to be like, huh? Like, yeah, little shadowy areas in it where I may not actually add certain things, but I may actually just add like shadow detail into it. And you guys actually like that? Right there? Yeah, see what I did right there. Instead of like the orangey tones, I just went with a shadow detail, a shadowy detail into it. You don't always have to add everything that all the other ones have. You can just add a shadow detail into it, and that changes the perspective of just like one thing. One little thing changes the perspective on that, changes the, the whole look. And that gives a little more emphasis on to painting. And then, yeah, I mean, it's really cool anything that you can do with the painting. Like this, oh my gosh, seasonal colors seem to come early this year. already up there. Sorry for my throat. That's kind of a funny one. What? Yeah, the thing you can do on the pumpkins is just take like some little shadow detail, so you could do the lines for shadow detail. Just lightly take the end of the brush with the black. Lightly, just lightly. You don't press hard with this. Do not press hard. Lightly take the end of the brush and down. You see that? Lightly take the end of the brush and down. I don't know if you can see the lines. You might not. Oh my gosh, sorry for my itchy face, guys. We started out really good, and now my allergies are acting up. Sorry for my itchy face. No, I see one. Okay, here. Take it and go down. Take it and go down. You see that better now? There we go. Just take it on your and go. And if you're balancing, take your hand in, down. Now don't forget we have to do the stemmy parts at the top of the pumpkin. And again, you can just make like little shadow features wherever you think a shadow should be, and it has to be in the right direction. Think about that. Oh my gosh, my face is really itchy. It has to be in the right direction on this, because the simple fact is you have the cloud, you have to think the perspective where the cloud is. And I was thinking about adding a little moon in there. No, we still have the white. We still have the white. You can still add a little moon in there behind these clouds, kind of peeking out a little. And peeking out a little. Don't monetize me. I only said moon. The Stand is one of my favorite movies. One of the people in that movie. Now they're telling me that my device is overheating. Typical, that's what they did last. That is exactly what they did last. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let you look at this, or at least the top of it, where I put the moon. Hey guys, can you see the moon? It's right there. While I point the fan in this direction to cool off my device. So enjoy the moon for a moment. Or I wish I could get it up like this so that you guys could see the whole painting while I step over there for a moment. But give me a moment. They're doing it to me again, so give me a moment, please. Right back. I'll move you guys up here. I'll be right back. I have to point. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I promise. I'll come back. Okay, I got a still fan. guys. Now that I have the air pointed this way, again, yes, again, to get going again without being seriously monetized. But again, okay, anyway, this is the main part, and we're I'm not gonna take this anymore. I'm not gonna stop painting. I'm going to. Anyway, we take this and just make the little shadow lines along the pumpkins, which I can show you much better. That's right, you're more down here with me. Put your shadow lines on your pumpkins like this, right? Just be careful how dark you make them. You can really clean up your skulls. Yes, you can. You can really clean up your skulls. And as you can see on this one, I did make a little mouth. I just didn't have teeth because I really don't think he needs it. And you can actually go back into your clouds, make little spots dark. You really can. You don't have to worry about that. Some little spots in stormy clouds. Some storm clouds have little dark spots like that. And just take your brush and go like that. And then what about the moon, you say? Well, get to the moon in a moment. The moon has shadows, doesn't it? The moon does have casted shadows. Yes, it does. And that's the beauty of painting. You can think of anything you need in your painting. It's your painting. It's what you created with it. Am I right? I'm right. So, take that back down over here. And like I said, you just take this up into your sky. You have little areas just right up in here. These little dark shadows, little spots in your cloud. Maybe you have a storm coming. Maybe you have a storm coming today. Sometimes storms come along. Maybe you have a storm today. No mountain, but it's coming through where your field is. You can clean up the air and fresh field. Make everything feel just right. Showing that little bit of gray to it like it does sometimes. There you go. And you just slightly take that over and just brush it. And then we can take that dry brush, our dry brush, and just take that slightly across, just gently, and just blend it. You see how that blended? You see how that blended? That was just enough in the cloud. There's not really necessary at this moment. And then that brush again, a little wet, just a little wet. One I would normally call a gator green. Well, they could both be a gator green. They're gonna monetize them again because that's somebody else's channel, and I am a Swamp Family member. swamp family member. Remember how I said over here? Just push it in on the ends. Shut, you know, you have the corn there. And then just, yeah, you know what I mean. Brush a little in there. It's a little indication. Just a little. Just in the distance is a little more corn. Rows of corn right here. Just little indications. I have a connection. Indications of the back 40 corn. Did you? Pumpkins come in various colors. Some people will say they are a gourd. They are not actually a gourd. They are a squash. Pumpkin is part of the squash family. Seeds are good for you. Never throw away the brains of the pumpkin. If you can get a really good sugar pumpkin, and I'll try to good sugar pumpkin, right? Find it in the can like we all do, processed it. Sugar pumpkin. I also watch a bunch of other creepy content creators. Like Let's Read. Goes to you, you're awesome. Serene. Yeah. Rob Dyke. Yeah, the good creepy tellers. Yeah. Do we have to do part 2? Because this is getting ridiculous. This is like wasting time. You're gonna monetize me like this and waste my time. You need to pay me for my wasted paint. So either you're gonna send a check I wasted paint. It's acrylic. It's not like water paint. Oh, so see, I had to tell them I gotta stop monitoring. so they actually know what's going on. So I could do the field just with this brush. And red, a little brown into it. I'm gonna wash the brush, make it color. Let's try that again. Yellow, orange, put red into that. Take a little bit of the green. White, liquid white didn't do too good, so you can take a little bit more of that thick white. White of it. Color. Yellow. That's the color. Now that's going to be the field color. You see that on the pink palette right here? Right here. Just right here. That's the field color I want. And since they keep messing me over, I'm just going to take my field color the way I want on here. And your field goes however you want it. And since my pumpkins are in a certain direction, I'm just going to take my field across, just across, in a certain way. Your fields were already tilled. This is kind of just broken dirt, just broken dirt. You want some of that purple to come through. You really do. You want it. You're just going to lightly wisp it. That's very important. Lightly wisp that. At the edge of that cornfield, you definitely want to do that. That is something important. Take that at the edge of your cornfield. And like I said, let that purple come through. And like I said, these are also Halloween style colors. You make these yourself. You just blend. Nobody did this for you. You did this yourself. And for all the farmers' tools. You see how that went there? The hair. Just take. That's all you're gonna do. Just take that blend there. Now, if you see my face like this, it's because they monetized again. It's really annoying. Yeah, you know what they just did. Okay. Now, like I said, pumpkins are not perfect. Make a circle. And another one. And like I said, pumpkins are not all the same size. So don't worry. Just here and there. He's trying to be the great pumpkin, you know? What can you say? Good grief, you. Yeah, I saw that shot. Take the orange, and we're. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just pop a little color. These little ones just growing in the field. You know, got to the vines coming in. You know, pretty sure you guys are getting the point on where this is going. Seriously, I'll teach you how to sew anything you want. You're not being serious. Okay, so I'm going to pick up that gator green because that's actually what I call that gator. I'm a swamp family member. That's gator green. Get monetized again for saying gator green because that's actually that color. That's what that's called, by the way. On the label, that's called gator green. That's the color on the label. No, seriously. I'll put an art company named a color. So now what I'm going to do is little swirly lines. Because we all, the little swirly lines go around from but what I'm going to do, and you guys are going to weird, to the scarecrow. Weird, right? Kind of cool. I haven't connected the scarecrow. That's I'll show you that. Hold on. Fun. He's the guardian of the pumpkin clan. Right? So why shouldn't he be? Why shouldn't he be connected? Why are the skulls there? Well, that's a whole different story, isn't it? Well, think about that. What wandered in? Ooh, think about those stories during Halloween. How many teenagers wandered into the farmer's field? He told them to stay out because the guardian of the field would get you. And only going. Okay, now that and then as soon as we do that, oh, I forgot the two in the front. Yes, I did. Purple of me. What did I do? What did I do? Talking about the farmer got to me, and I forgot the two guys in the front. Of the pumpkin, they deserve to be included. You know, see, the weird thing about this is the skulls will be attached to the vines, which is okay because they're now part of the clan, like the pumpkin field. So yes, I just had to add that in real quick. And before, see, look, I'll show that to you, like right before I do the shed. See, right there, before we add in shed, which I have to get that white. That brown color that we want. Now this is he'd make his sheds in now I'm going to show you this in a moment soon. Right there, you guys see that? And of course I'm going to door. So that's what we're going for, because that's what we're going for, and I'm tired of repeating myself from being on it. Brown, more detail to bring out that scarecrow, and then we'll be done. Red and white, a little bit of yellow. Have a little more detail to pop that scarecrow, and then we're done for the day of this video. So you blend a little bit of what I just did around the scarecrow and around the roof. Just try to bring them out a little bit, and that roof. rusty look to it. Fix the scarecrow. I like that little bit. I think we're going to call this done for now. Yes, we are going to call this done. So I'm just going to sign it like I'd always do. I don't sign mine here. I sign mine over here. I don't know why. Give it a thumbs up and a comment below. And if you haven't yet, and we'll try to get some other artwork done, and maybe when they're not trying to monetize the crap out of me. See you guys next time. Bye. Love everybody. Stay happy. Love. Bye.